get the tissues ready because we went to go and see Fault in Our Stars. You will. I think you've got something here. Is that a tear? We went to see kind of late afternoon, early evening screening, and it was full of schoolgirls who...
At your local friendly multiplex.
Cried and cried.
Well, I think the first thing to mention...
cried.
There was...
A lot of talking.
Rustling. Constant rustling of bags. There was... Every time...
Moving around as well. They kept moving around.
Anytime there was a major event in the film, and when we first met Augustus, when anything major was about to happen, there was gasps, there was little shrieks of glee, there was lots of palpable moistening in the cinema.
I've never seen so many tears.
20 minutes before the end of the film, there's the constant...
Sniffing.
And then with about 10 minutes to go, it was just full-blown
So I've never heard so many songs. They were still... I went to the loo after the film and they were still going.
And the second thing to mention would be that you've read the book.
Yes, I've read the
haven't,
book.
So I was new to it all. You were kind of going in expecting a certain amount of...
First up, just want to say the book is wonderful. It's so... beautiful, funny, like hugely funny and witty, and just really sharp in terms of humour, and it's tragic. It's just a wonderful, wonderful story. However,
amazing book into average film, shocker.
So it's not a bad film. I don't want to say it's a bad film. It's not. It's a perfectly good film, and it does a lot of things really well. But the book is so wonderful, it just doesn't translate into a wonderful, wonderful film.
Don't stick slavishly to a book. Move things around, play with it. It's not the same thing. It's never going to be the same thing. You can make a film that changes maybe quite significantly issues within the book, because it's not taking away. I don't think when that happens it ever takes away from a book. It becomes that they're different things, and because I've not read the book, I'm only judging it against how it plays as a film. And it was
so
average.
Shailene Woodley is just fabulous. She just embodied the spirit of Hazel. Like when you're reading the book, you almost forget she's got cancer in many ways, because it's about her. It's not about her having cancer. That's just the context of the story. Her and Ansel had good chemistry as well, I thought. Like you buy their relationship.
Well, yeah, if you don't buy the relationship, then that's really it for the film. It's a very emotionally manipulative picture because of that, and I think that's almost
I don't.
I'm not. It is what it is. I mean, I didn't have as much of an issue watching it as I thought I would do, and I think that's down to the charm that the two leads kind of have with each other and put across.
You were worried. I remember you saying beforehand that you were worried it was going to be really mawkish, and I knew from the book if they managed to make it mawkish, then they've spectacularally failed, because the book's not like that, and I don't think the film's like that either.
For the most part in the film, the tone was about right. I think there was a couple of instances though.
Yes.
The scene where they meet the author, which everything's kind of building to, and you have a sense that it's not really going to go quite as cleanly. Van Houten. And it comes across as a bit cliched.
I like William Dafoe. I thought he was good.
I mean, that's the thing. He's a really great actor, and I think it looks like he's hamming it up a little bit too much. And the scene just didn't really work.
The other scene that doesn't work
is in the Anne Frank, when they go and visit the Anne Frank house.
It's the Anne Frank house scene, and it was the only scene where I was like, this is not good.
It's almost offensive.
Yeah, and so
it is offensive. It is offensive.
The issue is, in the book, it works. They do kiss in the Anne Frank house in the book, but it is not because they're thinking, our suffering is on a par with the suffering of those in the Holocaust. It was a much more subtle moment. They certainly weren't in the middle of the floor kissing and surrounded by people. It was in the corner of the room, and it was far more... and I remember them saying something like how they felt a bit embarrassed because it wasn't necessarily appropriate to be kissing, so they did acknowledge that as well, and it was just less of a cheesy scene in the book, absolutely, than it was in the film. The film took the tone of that completely wrongly, I felt.
It's almost like any imbecile would know that it's horrifically inappropriate to be doing this in that place. The way they play the scene, it's surrounded by people smiling, clapping, going, isn't this wonderful? It
wasn't believable at all. For me, Popcorns, the book would be 10, but unfortunately the film is 7. And that is because it is not bad, It is good, but some of the translation issues mean that it just can't be higher. It's just not higher for me, I'm afraid.
On the whole, it's a better film than I thought it was going to be. I think the acting is generally very good. She's excellent. He's okay, good to okay.
Laura Dern.
I think Laura Dern. We haven't mentioned Laura Dern.
Brilliant.
That was nice. She was good. Jurassic Park. The tone of the film is, for the most part, strays the right side of the line, and only in a couple of places it doesn't quite mesh. But ultimately, it's never going to be the sort of film that I'm going to fall for. You don't
like the crying?
No, no crying. Okay. So, and I give it a 6. I give it a 6 out of 10. Next
week we'll be going to see Chef, which, again, the World Cup's on. There's not much on.
So. We could do the review while cooking dinner.
No, what?
Just mixing up visual.
I guess. Did you see The Fault in Our Stars? Did you cry like a little newborn baby, or were you, stony of heart and just thought, screw this cancer lark? Let us know. Let me know what you thought. Let me know. Let both of us know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, please. We want to get our subscriber numbers up. And if you really want to, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and all those links are in the description box below. And we will see you next week. Bye!
Are you angry at 12-year-old girls now?
I am. They've stolen my tears. They stole my tears.